What's going on, YouTube? Hey, real quick, this is a live Zoom call that I recorded with my current clients inside the Phorm app. We're going over how to best go about winning the $25,000 fall challenge and some pretty good details and specifics in here. If you're not inside the Phorm app, that's step one to be able to win that money. So go down to the description, click the link, and join the app today, and I'll see you in there.
All right, so we're going over basic frequently asked questions and all about the how to start up the app or the challenge, I suppose, right? So I'll run through some things. Feel free to stop me at any time with questions if you want, but then there'll be lots of time at the end for questions as well. So, cool. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna move my own little video here. So we got the fall 8-week sprint challenge. We're going to go over the frequently asked questions. We're going to talk about those essays and those photos. We're going to talk about the videos that you could do and how to get the best and fastest results. So why is it 8 weeks? 8 weeks is enough time to make sure that you can get some serious progress. Example A, all those photos from the first slide, also 8 weeks there. Okay, like there can be some serious amounts of work in 8 weeks. It can be anywhere from, 8 pounds, 16 pounds, 24. We've had over 50 pounds lost in just 8 weeks by being 100% on and going all in. Okay. But it's also enough time to build sustainable habits. They say like a habit is 21 days to build. And so if we can do these things and implement more things and work on high protein, portion control, water, exercise, you'll be building those habits and creating that new lifestyle for yourself that you can just go and continue. But it's also not too daunting that people don't want to commit, because like, I don't know if I could commit to a year or something, but 8 weeks, 56 days, I mean, that's not that much. So 8 weeks, good time frame. Photos, number one, guys, this is how you get entered into the challenge, and also one of the best tools we have for progress, right? On top of photos, you have, of course, the scale. You have how your clothes fit, how your belt fits, how you feel, how you look in the mirror, and measurements. If you guys have like a soft tape measure, cloth tape measure, you can measure around your chest, your waist, your hips, your biceps, everything like that. The photos are a super important part, especially if you are planning on going for a win. Okay, they can't pick a winner if you have bad initial photos. Okay, so that's why I try to hammer this up front to make sure everyone has good initial photos. So clothing is number one. We want it to be family friendly. All right, nothing that you wouldn't wear to the pool, to like a public pool, essentially, right? But we also want to be able to see enough skin to be able to see the changes. So like, I understand sometimes it's uncomfortable to take a shirt off, but that is what needs to be done, men, in order to see these changes. And ladies, it's more like sports bra and shorts or swimsuit. So clothing, good. Background, we want it kind of plain. My photos in this, actually, it's my gym behind me, but it's some really good lighting. So I should actually probably change those, but we want like kind of a plain, not so busy, definitely not messy background. As much as I love to see laundry on the floor behind y'all in your bedrooms, it's like those photos will probably never be plastered all over the internet as the winner of $25,000, if that makes sense. So have it plain or at least neat and tidy. I suppose neat and tidy is what my gym would be, not. Flexing, we don't want to be flexing for these. Okay, we want to be just standing natural. And also for the initial photos, like, do not suck it in, do not try to flex, just stand naturally. Okay, and let it kind of hang out, because like if you're flexing up front, well, that takes away from the huge difference you're about to make in this 8-week challenge. Okay, so stand naturally. Lighting, make sure it's good lighting. Okay, sometimes there's shadows that like run across your body, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't really see that. And if we can't really see the detail, well, we don't know if that could be a winner or not really. So make sure the lighting is good. Front lighting, make sure you're not standing in front of like a really bright window, because that will put your whole body into shadow. And once we have that good clothing, good lighting, good background, do it the same time, same way every time, okay? And sometimes if you take them in the morning or at night, that window changes, okay? So it could have been good lighting in the morning because you were facing the window, but then if the window's behind you now, well, now it's backlit, so pay attention to that, all right? Any questions on photos? You do not have to only do these in the assessment. There's a little plus by the My Photos button, and that's where you can just go and submit new photos. Okay, so if like you guys want to redo your photos right now for day one, cool, do that right now. You don't have to wait till Sunday or Monday with the assessment to do that. Okay. All right, so after photos are in, we got to make sure you know what your goal is. All right, and so many people have the exact same idea as me. It's like, all right, I want to lose weight and I want to gain muscle. Those two are kind of contradictory. All right, when we think about gaining muscle, the scale will go up. Okay, and if you want to lose weight, most of the time we will not be gaining muscle. We'll be doing our best to maintain it while uncovering it. And at the end of that weight loss, you 100% look like you gained muscle. And so the way the goals are set up in the app is gain muscle, maintain, or lose body fat. Essentially, it's gain muscle, make the scale go up, maintain, make the scale stay about the same, and lose body fat, which means scale's going to go down. All right, so make sure you have the correct goal selected and that your goal weight corresponds appropriately. Because quite often it'll be like, hey, I want to gain muscle, but then the goal weight is 30 pounds down. And so it doesn't actually line up. So double check your profile and that you got your goals set up correctly. With this activity level. So real quick on activity level, this is based on your work. Okay, so not necessarily like that you work out, because like I'm doing 2 workouts a day and I'm still sedentary because the rest of the time I am sitting at my desk or I'm in bed. So, you know, if you're pretty much desk bound at work, that's going to be that sedentary. Okay, if you are pretty much on your feet most of the day, like think like waiter or sales, to where like you're standing around, maybe a bit of walking, probably more lightly active. And then if you're like outside doing construction, concrete, manual labor, things like that, picking up heavy boxes all day and moving them, that'd be that very active. All right. So any questions on setting your goal or activity level? No one? You guys are gonna make this easy. All right, moving on then. Ooh, little quote. You should set your goals beyond your reach so you always have something to live for. So I saw this the other day. It makes really good sense, okay, especially for me. And I'm sure I'm not alone. So when I reach a goal, if I don't have something already set up to push me further, then I kind of let my foot off the gas and I let go. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I made it to my goal. And so this is where it comes to, you know, setting it beyond your reach, always pushing the goalpost one step further and further and further, right? So before you even get to your 200-pound weight loss goal, like say we're headed down to 200 and we get to 205 and we're 5 pounds away, it's like, hey, we should set up another goal. Like what's next after we get there? That way, as soon as you get to 200, you don't let your foot off the gas. You continue to push. You always push. Okay, so keep that in mind as you work towards your goals. Okay, so the essays and the videos. So these are going to be available when you go to the menu, My Photos, and press that plus. Click that plus. When you take the 3 photos, it'll take you to this screen. And on that screen, it's going to say essay and video. And we now have the option to record a video right then and there. So what you do is you type out a little something or you record a little video. Okay, so most of the time people want to know like, hey, what am I supposed to say in this essay? And it can be very, very simple. Okay, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, doesn't have to be your entire life story, but it should be enough to form a little bit of a, better connection, almost an emotional connection with like everything that you've been through from this point and where you want to go. So especially up at the beginning of the challenge, it's like, hey, this is a little bit about me and this is where I'm at. I think, this is where I want to be going. And these are the struggles I think I'm going to be facing. It's like, this is my mindset. This is what I've struggled with in the past, right? And then at the end of the challenge, we can do another one. And we can do a video at this point to where it'll be like, hey, this is everything I've overcome. I'm down 40, 50 pounds. And it was really hard, this, but I made it through. And just to share your story with the judges for anyone who's really going for that win. And so you guys have something to look back at and be like, wow, look at everything I've done. A year ago when I wrote this essay, I was worried about not eating enough. And now it's whatever other problem I got, So just having a little bit of like record keeping for you to look back. It's awesome. And then again, it's going to be under that plus by the My Photos where you can record and type that out. And again, anyone going for the win at the very end of the challenge, definitely I would say a video. I don't know if there's ever been a winner that didn't have a video. Okay. And it used to be a lot harder to do. It used to you have to record it and post it to YouTube and then copy your link. But now you can record it right in the app. So it's awesome. Any questions on the essays or videos? Cool. Okay. We're going to touch on the game plan real quick, guys. So there's a few things that if you can do them every single day, it's going to push you towards your goals. All right. So everyone has their own goals. And based on your goal, your activity level, your current weight, that provides you a certain number of calories. Okay. So those calories will be moving the scale. Okay. On the off chance that they don't work after 7 to 10 days of you nailing them, well, then we'll adjust. All right. But trust the system and hit your calorie number. And that calorie number is often a goal, okay? It's not a limit. That's not how many you need to stay under. That's how many I want you to hit, okay? So get that check mark on it every single day. And it's going to be the same with protein. You got to get that check mark every single day. But protein has a different role, okay? So if calories control the scale, they control weight going up, weight going down, weight staying the same. Protein controls what you will look like at that weight. It controls your body composition, how much muscle you are able to build or maintain while that scale is moving. So if you are able to hit protein every single day, you're going to be building and maintaining more muscle while dropping that fat. This leads to the body composition that you want. You want to keep your strength. You want to look like an athlete. You want to be able to burn fat faster. All of that requires muscle. Muscle requires that protein. All right. Moving on to water. Now, water is something that a lot of people struggle with. Hold on. I get that water in. And what I've learned is if you can wake up, drink 24 ounces of water almost immediately, 24 to 28, that's going to set you up for being thirsty all day. And I don't understand the physiological side behind it. My assumption is you wake up dehydrated, right? Because you haven't been drinking. You sweat a little bit while you sleep. You're also breathing the whole time. And every time you breathe, moisture comes out, right? And so you're losing water the whole time you're sleeping. And if you haven't been able to drink now for 8 hours because you were asleep, then you probably wake up dehydrated. And at a certain point of dehydration in the body, your body stops triggering thirst. And so if you wake up and you're already dehydrated past that point, yeah, you're not going to be triggered first. And if you go on, hold on. I need to mute somebody. There's a lot of background noise. Anyone? Oh, I don't hear it now. And so if you go on, as soon as you wake up and you have a cup of coffee, okay, well, that's a little bit more dehydrated, right? And that's what most people do. You wake up and you drink that brown energy juice, right? But it's gonna a little bit more dehydrated, not exactly hydrated. And so you're already past that point of not thirsty. And so, yeah, you're not thirsty all day because you've been dehydrated all day. And that's going to lead to poorer performance in the gym, less fat loss, more headaches, more tiredness, more potential for muscular injury. There's so many things. And so wake up, drink about 20 ounces of water, and you will be thirsty all day as your body dips down to that dehydrated level to where it's like, oh, I need to drink more. So try it. Just wake up and chug a whole liter. All right. And then you'll easily get your 100 or 120 ounces. Movement. Now, movement looks different for everybody. Baseline minimums, okay, especially, well, let's talk fat loss goal. Minimums are going to be a 45-minute walk every single day if you're aiming for fat loss goal. On top of that, we would love to see at least 3 to 5 workouts per week. All right, those would be those resistance style training workouts. Your muscle gain, there's going to be less cardio, probably more lifting. If you're a maintain, you're going to be somewhere in the middle, and everyone's a little bit different there. But at minimum, you're aiming for 45 minutes of movement per day. Okay. And again, if you're going hard, it's going to be a little bit more. Okay. And if you think about going for a win with a fat loss goal, right? It's going to be a lot of walking. Okay. Because walking is a very easy and sustainable and repeatable thing. Like, I can't go out and run 10 miles every single day. I'd be way too hungry. My joints would be way too fatigued, and I just won't want to do it. But I could walk for 2 hours a day. Absolutely no problem. Could do 3. Not going to get too hungry. It's just a time issue at that point for me. But that comes down to your priorities and how bad you want to win. You make it happen. So walking a lot. Also, if you're thinking about the win, you're going to think about, if you're losing all the fat, you want to make sure certain muscles pop out, and that would be your core. So make sure you're building your core if you're going for that win, because we're going to want those abs to pop out. Cool. And foundational health focus. So this, we're talking like foundational supplementation and food. So 5 to 7 servings, different color fruits and vegetables, right? That's going to provide you typically with enough micronutrients that you need, but that's really hard to do. So if you can't do it, that's when I'm recommending a multivitamin, okay? We're talking 3 to 5 servings of fatty fish per week, because that's going to provide you with enough omega-3 fatty acids to give you what you need in terms of anti-inflammatory properties and all the other health benefits that come with omega-3s. I don't eat fish that often. It's like once a month, maybe. And so I supplement with a high-quality fish oil. I'm also pretty huge on gut health. Many of you already know that. And so OptiGreens 50 is what I use for gut health, because I am not one to go and eat kefir and kimchi and kombucha every single day to help with my gut health. And then the other foundational supplement that I love is going to be level 1, just because it helps hit that protein number that's typically all kind of high or hard for you to hit. I mean, like, I wouldn't be able to hit it without level 1. All right. I take at least 1 scoop every single day, and it helps me hit my protein number. So I want to touch on those. And then, guys, that's your entire game plan broken down real quick. Protein, calories, water, movement, sleep, foundational health focus. If you can do those things for long enough, like, we're going to make it towards your goals. Okay. Now, as we progress through this and you're going for a win, you might see those protein calories get lowered. You might see your movement have to increase. You might start thinking about using fat burners or L-carnitine or CLA to help give you that edge or that boost. Okay. But all that comes with time. All right. I made it through everything I want to make it through. 20 minutes. Look at that. Now, what do you guys got for questions? Feel free to type them if you don't want to talk. There we go.
Are you sticking with Sunday, Monday assessments this go around again?
Yep. Sunday, Monday assessments. A lot of people just do Monday, Tuesday, but I mean, like, you guys work Monday. So I mean, like, I'd rather have Sunday available for those who want to take advantage of it. I guess I didn't cover start date. So start date is October 9th is the very last day to get your photos in. And then the final day to get them in would be December 3rd, which means the first day to get your final photos in is like November 28th or so. 28th of December. 28th of November to December 3rd. That week right there is like your last week to get photos in. You just have to get them in sometime during the week. Does everyone know what assessments are? Everyone done one already? A couple of you are pretty new. Well, assessments are Sunday, Monday. You go in, you answer those 6 questions, get the new photos, new weight, send it in. That's everything. And then I usually go back and do a little bit of video feedback. What else we got? I got plenty of time.
How do you balance, hey Seth, it's Brad. So how do you balance like fat loss without literally degrading your muscle mass, right? Because obviously I tried to walk a lot and I saw rewards in walking a lot, right? But I lost a lot of fat, lost a lot of weight, but I lost several pounds of muscle mass, right? So for me, I guess I'm finding a balance and trying to figure out how I overcome that challenge to maintain some aspect of muscle mass. I mean, is that just really just activation once a week, or is it still focusing on my lifting 5 days a week with a couple hit interval trainings and maybe a couple additional walks? But I guess I'm really struggling with the balance and trying to figure out to have a shot at this, right? Does that make sense?
No, that makes a lot of sense. And so like you went real hard for the month of September. Got 1 million steps for those of you who don't know. He went real hard. And so we took out a couple workouts for the month. And so did we sacrifice some muscle to get that 1 million steps? Possibly. All right. But we're going to implement those workouts back in. So combination of always hitting protein. Okay. And making sure that protein is high enough. And that resistance style training. Okay. When you give your muscle the stimulus to build and rebuild and grow, and you give it the building blocks, the amino acids from the protein to do so, that's what helps to maintain it all. And so like, in January, I lost 35 pounds and like I stepped on an in-body every single week and I lost 1 pound of muscle throughout all that because I was able to lift and I was hitting my protein. So, we went down to 1 lift per week during September for you. And now we're bumping that back up to, at least 3. And we want to be hitting the whole body throughout that.
I guess it's more of a mindset for me. It's like I feel like I'm not doing enough.
And I mean, that makes sense, especially coming from a dude who's done 4x4 by 48 twice.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you feel like you've toned it down a little bit now, especially, but doing a lot. So we can take a look at your specific protein and maybe bump it and then maybe rework or pick a different workout program. There's a good 3-day-a-week full body one to then hit the full body hard 3 days a week.
Okay. And we can talk offline about that. So I just wanted to, so easy enough. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good question. Anyone else? Questions? No.
Hey, I have a question about protein consumption.
Yep.
Saw a short little video on TikTok, so I can't tell you if it's actually legitimate, but your body's only able to process like a very small portion of the protein you consume. So I didn't know what you thought about that, like because it's like protein maxing. So how much of that protein actually gets saturated into your like muscle content?
So you're going to be able to digest and absorb it all.
Gotcha.
Does it all get used for muscle building? Maybe, maybe not. Because your body also uses protein for a whole host of other things, like your immune system, your enzymes, other tissue building, organs, hair, skin, nails, etc. It's not all going to get used for muscle building. Okay, and then you want to think about protein timing with this. So here's the thing that most people are talking about when they talk about that. It's like, if you sit down and you have 100 grams of protein, it's all going to be digested, it's all going to be absorbed, but it's not all going to be used for muscle building because it's going to get used for other stuff. And then that muscle protein synthesis window will run out. It takes about 30 to 40 grams of protein to kickstart muscle protein synthesis. You have to have 2.5 grams of leucine to start that muscle building process in your body, and that takes about 30 grams. So if you can get that 30, 40 grams every single 3-ish hours, you're golden, okay? But if you were to just have 100 for breakfast and 100 for dinner, sure, you hit your protein, but you weren't in that muscle building state all day. And so some of that did get converted over to carbohydrates and used for energy. So the best thing...
Okay. That makes a lot of sense to me. The consistency is the important. Yeah.
So the best thing is even amounts of protein spaced throughout the day. That way you're always up in that muscle building state.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
All right.
Cool.
Who else has a question? Who's going for the win? Anyone going for like really going to win? Rob's 1. I think Brad's 2. Nate, I think Aaliyah is. Amaret. All right, so we're going hard. Joey is. I'm working on being a little bit more strict with you guys. All right. So anyone who's like, hey, listen, I'm going for the win. You have to hold me accountable. I'm going to do my best to like figure out who's who. And then there's no more sympathy. It's like, listen, Joey, you told me you want to win. I don't care if you have a wedding coming up. It's going to be this way. So if you're going for the win, that's the kind of coaching it kind of needs to be to get you guys to the win. And so I'm working on separating those groups out, the ones to be a little bit more empathetic with and the ones to listen, there's 0 options here. This is what you have to do. So if you're in that 0 options group, I'm sure I know that's in the app. Cool. Any other questions? Still got about 10 minutes. I usually like to do about 45, but I mean, if there's no other question, cut it short. All right. Well, sounds good then. We're going to do another Zoom next Thursday, 3 p.m. as well. And so make sure you join. And thank you everyone for coming. All right.
Thanks, Seth.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Seth.
Bye.
Bye.